The field of eHealth harnesses the use of technology to improve the healthcare system. Technology today can enhance healthcare in a variety of ways, such as improved delivery and access through telemedicine, improved education and access to health information for both patients and healthcare providers, as well as improved communication. The following presentation will discuss how eHealth technology can be utilized to address healthcare concerns within single-family rooms in neonatal intensive care units. In Canada, preterm births account for 8% of all live births. Most of these preterm newborns are admitted to the NICU and are at high risk of long-term morbidities, such as developmental delays and cognitive impairment. The care provided in the NICU has a significant impact on neurodevelopmental outcome of preterm babies. The built environment of the NICU can have long-term impacts on neonatal development. Sounds over 45 decibels can increase an infant's heart rate and blood pressure, while continuous light can disrupt an infant's circadian rhythm. In contrast, increased parental socialization through speech and touch has been associated with positive developmental outcomes, such as increased vocalization and cardiorespiratory stability. If infants do not receive proper stimulation during critical developmental periods, there can be long-term impacts on a baby's development. Furthermore, in the future, these children are more likely to have higher healthcare costs and are less likely to contribute to economic growth in their adulthood. Parents also require a supportive NICU environment. Upon arrival, parents lack knowledge about their baby's condition and are overwhelmed with emotions such as anxiety and helplessness. Parents report that their greatest amount of support comes from other parents in the NICU. Since families may spend months in the NICU, it is important that the built environment is optimized for an infant's development, while also a supportive environment that is conducive to family learning and emotional support. Two different types of NICUs exist: open bay units and single-family rooms. Open bay units are where families have little, if any, control over external stimuli. In contrast, single-family rooms are private and allow families to control environmental stimuli such as sound and light. Although preferences have shifted among families towards single-family rooms, challenges exist in these rooms that can impact infant development and the support that families receive. First, neonates in single-family rooms are more likely to experience social isolation in comparison to neonates in open bay units. They lack exposure to white noise that would be present in open bay rooms, and their parents are not always present to provide stimuli such as touch or sound. Second, parents in single-family rooms are less likely than parents in open bay rooms to receive educational and emotional support. This is because they are separated from other parents in the NICU and are less likely to come into contact with nurses whom they can ask questions to. The objective of our study is to implement and test a video conferencing system that allows for increased parent and infant interaction, with the hope of improving the neurodevelopment of preterm babies. The following research question has been proposed to meet our study objectives. For preterm babies born at less than 32 weeks gestation who are admitted to single-family rooms, does the use of video conferencing and web-based application system, when compared to standard of care, lead to improved infant neurodevelopmental outcomes, better parental satisfaction, increased parental presence, and decreased length of hospital stay? A comprehensive search strategy was used to identify the knowledge gaps and proposed eHealth solutions. A number of studies were found that used telemedicine to enhance parental education, emotional support, and decrease length of stay in the NICU. However, many of these were trialed in open bay units and did not address infant neurodevelopment as an outcome. The most comprehensive eHealth system that was found and evaluated is a system called Baby Care Link. The web-based system uses teleconferencing to provide clinical updates, medical information, and emotional support, while also displaying images of the infant. Between the two studies that evaluated Baby Care Link, decreased length of hospital stay and reduced number of transfers to other hospitals were observed in the intervention group. Another study tested the use of the Angel Eye camera system. This system allowed parents to view and communicate to their infants from home through a webcam. The study showed high parental satisfaction, but there were technological challenges and privacy concerns. A similar system called Telebaby exists, although without audio capability due to privacy concerns. The proposed outcomes of the intervention were a reduction in parental anxiety as well as increased bonding. However, results of the study have yet to be published. Another study harnessed the use of 3G cell phones, along with a traditional internet browser, to permit parents to view their baby. The authors aimed to test both the feasibility and acceptability of the system while collecting data on length of stay and parental visitation. 97% of parents declared confidence in the system's security measures, and 100% agreed that the system was useful. The other outcomes did not have statistical differences between the groups. Lastly, an additional study discusses the implementation of webcams without audio into the NICU. The authors discussed the conversations that arose as parents viewed routine care and procedures, leading to a number of teachable moments. Feedback from parents was reported as overwhelmingly positive. Although the above studies attempt to create a virtual visit experience for parents and their neonates, some important components are lacking. Video conferencing was available in many of the above studies, however, the parents were not able to have two-way conversations. This is key to promoting neurodevelopment, since voice stimuli has been shown to have positive impacts on development. As previously mentioned, none of these studies measured the impact these systems have on this development. Lastly, these studies were conducted in open bay rooms and do not address concerns that are specific to single-family rooms. Combining all of the considerations from the literature, we propose a web-based system that provides connection between parents, healthcare providers, and neonates. The solution aims to address social isolation problems within single-family rooms for both parents and babies. The system contains two interfaces, an external interface for families to access in their homes, and an internal interface for clinical staff to access in the NICU, allowing staff to update the system daily with new information. There are several functions in the system, including a message box, educational materials, daily reports, video conferencing, and a peer support forum. Many of these components have been used separately in previous studies. However, we are using them in a different context to address a different health problem. Furthermore, we are taking into consideration limitations from other studies, such as lack of two-way voice communication, to ensure a system is specifically tailored to improving neurodevelopmental outcomes and providing social support. We will now explain the details of each of the system's components. First, we will start with the most important feature of our system, video conferencing. Video conferencing will allow face-to-face contact between parents and their child, as well as two-way verbal communication. The purpose of this function is to increase stimuli and consequently improve developmental outcomes by delivering parents' voice to their neonates. Next is the message box, which enables asynchronous communication with doctors and nurses. Parents are able to ask questions through this function, and it allows healthcare providers to respond without interrupting their workflow. Another module is the educational materials, which provides general medical knowledge for educating parents. However, specific lessons would also be available if needed, such as things to do before and after discharge. Both educational modules are being proposed to address the difficulty parents may experience in obtaining answers to their questions due to less contact with clinical staff and other parents. Next is the daily report function. By connecting the daily report to the NICU EMR, parents will be able to receive daily updates about their baby's condition. This function is aimed at reducing stress and anxiety among parents. The last function of the peer support forum, which is being proposed in order to address the lack of social support parents receive in single-family rooms. The forum allows anonymous posting for those parents and also allows them to share their experience and knowledge with others. Our proposed solution will be hosted as a web-based system. We chose this for a number of reasons. First, there is a large user population available, with 83% of Canadian households having access to the internet. Additionally, a web-based system is highly feasible as it can be run through an internet browser on various devices, such as computers, laptops, smartphones, or tablets, without any additional software. The feasibility of a web-based system is supported by evidence from previous studies that have tested various versions of web-based systems. Moreover, variations of this type of system have been highly acceptable among other users. We will now talk about the hardware and software requirements for our system. The configuration requires a workstation, and we suggest using well-established brands such as HP or Dell in order to have the most reliable system in terms of stabilization and ease of maintenance. With regards to software, packages from Microsoft dominate most hospital systems, so to ensure compatibility, Microsoft software packages are an ideal choice. The hardware configuration within the single-family room environment requires a high-quality speaker with limited volume and a microphone. To view infants, a webcam with at least a resolution rate of 720 must be set up in each room. These cameras would ideally have a built-in motor, permitting parents to adjust the camera angle slightly in order to capture an ideal image without interfering with medical staff. Lastly, a stop button will need to be installed for medical staff to press and disconnect the video in case of an emergency. To ensure the privacy and security of neonates' data and the video link, a virtual private network service will be required to establish a secure connection. Only parents and healthcare providers will have access to the neonates, and an audit log will be used so parents can see who has accessed their video. Parents will be educated about the security risks to ensure they understand the importance of it, and be encouraged to view their infant on a computer or device that is protected against viruses. All data will be compliant under the HIPAA, and frequent vulnerability tests will be completed to detect any security or privacy issues. To test if our proposed solution is successful, we will conduct a randomized control trial. After applying inclusion and exclusion criteria, participants will be randomized to their study group using a computer-generated sequence. The study group will have access to the web-based system. Any device that supports a web browser, such as a computer, smartphone, or tablet, can be used in the study. Participants that do not have access to the internet or a device will be provided with each for the duration of the study. The control group will receive the current standard of care in the NICU. Parents will be provided with educational brochures for baby care and be regularly updated at the bedside about their baby's condition by doctors and nurses. To determine if our proposed solution is successful, the following outcomes will be measured: infant neurodevelopmental outcomes, parental satisfaction, parental presence, neonate length of stay, and time spent using the system. Neurodevelopmental outcomes will be measured in both study groups using the Bayley Scale of Infant and Toddler Development, a validated tool for infants' neurodevelopment at 18 months. The language, cognitive, and motor composite scores will be compared between the study groups at 18 months of age to assess language delay, cognitive impairment, and motor development. In order to assess how satisfied parents are with the care of their infant in the NICU, a validated tool called the Neonatal Index of Parental Satisfaction will be used. Parental satisfaction will be measured for both study groups when infants are discharged from the NICU. Since video conferencing will enable socialization between family members and provide education about benefits of increased family involvement, it is hoped that the web system will increase parental presence in the NICU. Daily parental presence will be measured for the duration of the stay through the use of sign-in and sign-out sheets. Infants' length of stay will be measured from the EMRs. It is expected that the intervention group will have a shorter length of stay in the NICU because parents that have access to more educational materials will likely feel more confident in their ability to care for their baby at home. Time spent using the web system will be measured in the intervention group by collecting information about how long each user accesses the system each day. It is being collected as a process indicator to ensure the intervention group is actually using the system and to confirm that any differences observed between the two groups is attributable to the intervention. The outcome will be measured as the average minutes per day spent accessing the system over the duration of their time enrolled in the study. In order to successfully execute the proposed solution, extensive training in operating the video conferencing system and web-based application will be provided to healthcare providers and parents of neonates. There will be ongoing collaboration with computer programmers and IT techs from the hospital's IT department to ensure the interoperability of the video conferencing system with other systems in the hospital. They will also assist in any technical troubleshooting to ensure the smooth operation of the proposed system. Feedback will be gathered through surveys. Direct communication of concerns and opinions will be taken into account to ensure participant satisfaction. Depending on the statistical analysis of evidence-based data gathered from the experiment, decisions will be made regarding its implementation as a long-term plan. There will be need for the formulation of a new policy due to privacy issues that were previously non-existent. To conclude our presentation, we have proposed a comprehensive web-based eHealth solution to address challenges faced by infants and families in single-family room care. The potential pitfalls with single-family room care include sensory stimulation deprivation for infants and inadequate social and emotional support to the parents, leading to potential negative health outcomes. The video conferencing and web-based system will allow increased infant-parent interaction, provide educational support to the parents, provide updates about a baby's condition, give an opportunity to interact with healthcare providers, and provide peer support. The usability of the system will be evaluated in an RCT to measure improvement in neonatal developmental outcomes, parental level of comfort in taking care of their infants, and parental satisfaction. The results of the trial will provide necessary information about the usefulness of the system. If found useful, the system could then be implemented on a long-term basis to address challenges in single-family room units and reap its full benefits.